Hello friends, our today's question is question number 1486, XOR operation in an array. So let's read the question first. You are given an integer array n and an integer start. So we are given an integer n and an integer start. Define an array nums where nums of I should be equal to start plus 2 times I. So we need to define an array. They have not given array this time, they have given us two numbers, an integer n and an integer start. So we have to define array by ourselves, which would be nums of I should be equal to start plus 2 times I. So basically the first digit should be, like for example, let's say 2. So the next digit would be 4, the next element would be 6, and next element would be 8. So it will be multiplying by 2. So this would be our array, and basically here given is n should be equal to nums dot length. So the size of array should be equal to n, which is given here. And what we have to return the bitwise XOR of all elements of nums. So after declaring array, after defining an array, which would be done manually by us, and we have to return XOR of all XOR basically of all elements of nums. So let's read the example, understand the example first. For for example, they have given us input n equals to 5 and start equal to 0. So array nums is equal to 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, which would be declared by us manually, where 0 XOR 2 XOR 4 XOR 6 XOR 8 should be equal to 8, where this equals to bitwise XOR operator. Again, this is the same example. So let's think first what we can do here. So we have to declare first an array, and we are given two integers. So these are done. Now we have to declare array. So let's first run a while loop. Let's first run a while loop. Before running while loop, for loop basically, I will make an array, vector array, which would be of nums. After making a vector array of nums, I will run a for loop which would start from 0 and will go up to n basically. Not nums dot size. We this time will go up to n because we need an array of size n. Okay, so keep this in mind. This will go up to n and incrementing I. Now what we will do is push back all push back inside push back I will write is here we have given in condition start plus 2 times I. So first, now how will this work? Let me write first start plus 2 times I. So how will this work? So let's say our nums is basically at start the nums array would be empty. After reaching this fifth line, it would run a while for loop which would start from 0th index and will go run up to n. So basically our how why I wrote this line nums dot pushback start plus 2 times I. So what this the line that does is, so basically in our nums array it would be starting from 0. So after starting from 0, the start, let's say for this example basically I calculate, so n is 5 and start is 0. So here start is 0 and n is 5, so the length of the array nums array basically is 5. So there would be 5 integers inside the vector nums array, and after running the loop, basically our start is 0. So our first element would be 2 times I. So 2 times I is 0, so our first element should be 0, as you can see here. Now after going to the first index, our start is 0, start is given 0. So start 0, our start would be 0, so we don't need to count start here. We will basically count this 2 times I only. So after going I is for 0 for 0 I is done. Now let's move on to 1. So when I is 1, our next element would be 2 times 1, which is basically 2. So for I equals to 2, 2 times I is 2, 4. So our next element would be 4, third element basically. And for I equals to 3, 2 times 3 is 6. So our next element, fourth element would be 6. So for last element I equals to 4, our element would be 8. So for for to make this array I have written this line. Okay, now we need to find XOR elements of our nums. So basically I will take a result variable and assign it to 0. Now what will I do is run a for loop. Inside that, running it from 0, starting it from 0 and to the size of nums, incrementing it. And now what will I do is res, we need all elements like 0, XOR 2, XOR 4, XOR 6, XOR 8. So to do this I will take I have taken this variable, result variable, and will what will I do is I will equate to it to res XOR nums I. So what this line will do is, now let's say our array is 0 to 4 6 8. Now our result variable is assigned to 0. Now to XOR, because I need to XOR of all elements of nums, so I have to loop through the nums once. So I have written for loop here, which would start from 0th index and will run up to nums dot size, and to write all to find all the XOR of all elements of nums. Result variable is equal to 0. Now result will be equal to result XOR of nums of I. So this will be continuing in the loop until the last element is reached. And let's say our result is 0. So first element result 0 XOR 0 is 0. Now the for first element 0 XOR 2 is 0 XOR 2 here will be 2. So then 2 XOR 4 here result is 2. So now the third element for 4, the 2 XOR 4 would be equal to 4. Now 4 XOR 6, now here is 6, nums of I is 6, so 4 XOR 6 would be equal to 6, and now result is equal to 6. Now when result is equal to 6, nums is equal to 8. So 6 equals to 6 XOR 8. So 6 XOR 8 would be equal to 8. So our final answer is 8. So we will return this result, and now let's run it. It's running. The network is slow basically. Oh, it shows network error. Let's run again once. Why it's not running? It is showing network error. I think my internet is not working right now. Okay, I refreshed the page. Now let's see. What is showing is okay, I have written here I forgot to write. Here is J and I have written is I. This was a silly mistake. Okay, now it's run, and our test case all are passed. Now let's submit it and check the results. Okay, our runtime is 0 millisecond and bits are 100%, and memory used is 8.5 MB and bits are 14.74%. Okay, thank you.